Alright people, so I'm here with I guess a historic video. I've never done a 50 reasons. I've done like 10 and I think 20 even, but I don't even think I've ever come close to 50 reasons of anything. So yeah, I know I've been ranting on the company a lot and just basically, I was going to say the last few months or last few weeks, but ever since I made a YouTube channel, I've pretty much been ranting on the company. So I've got 50 fucking reasons, people. 50 of them why WWE sucks dick, sucks cock, sucks ass, sucks whatever. It fucking sucks. It's a complete disaster with no, it doesn't look like any hope of becoming good anytime soon. Just everything in the company is like shit, except maybe a few things are decent, but for the most part the company is in fucking ruins. You know, it's like the cities after World War II, after they were fucking bombed. They're in ruins. They're not nowhere near to be coming close to being, the city they once were. Nowhere near becoming, the Attitude Era-esque level it once was. So let's get started off here. Number one, a part-time champion. Brock Lesnar is not there more than he is there, which basically is stupid. The champion should be there every fucking week unless it's for like a storyline purpose. Like when CM Punk the belt and left the company. The champion should be there every fucking week. Number two, the face of the company sucks. We all know Cena's a fucking PG motherfucker, faggot, whatever. He fucking sucks. I mean, he does have some wrestling skills, but he's just so bland and boring as a babyface. It's ridiculous. Number three, the announcers suck. I'm tired of the announcers, they're probably being fed, shit to say by Vince McMahon, so it's not really their fault. I mean, Vince should just let them say whatever they want. I mean, they would be good. It would be a lot better like that. But unfortunately, a lot of times they're fucking, retarded. Like, remember when R-Truth and Ziggler, and they're like, oh, we can't tell them apart because they didn't want to be racist. Number four, $9.99. They keep telling us, oh, $9.99, to get people to buy the network. If they really want people to buy the network, put out a good product, and then people will buy the network. Stop singing random ass retarded songs and saying $9.99, every 10 seconds. Number five, Raw is 3 hours. Raw, I mean, if it's gonna be 3 hours, it better be a really good show. Because I don't want to take 3 hours out of my day to watch 3 hours of complete shit. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. At least when it was 2 hours, or if it's 2 hours, you get 2 hours of shit. But when it's 3 hours, you get 3 hours of shit, and you get a ton of filler too. Number six, too many shows. Remember when we just had main event or Raw and SmackDown? Now we have main event. That's how it should be. Just Raw and SmackDown. You don't even have to have a SmackDown really, because Raw is fucking 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever. Now we got main event, superstars, NXT, you got all these fucking shows, you got the YouTube channel, you just got a ton of fucking wrestling to fucking watch every week. It's just too much. Just concentrate on one show and putting your effort into one fucking show, or maybe two. Number seven, there's only title changes on Raw. You notice they used to have title changes on SmackDown and even main event. But now, I don't even see any title. NXT, yeah, but that's a separate little company almost. It's like a separate thing. Yeah, they do have title changes on, no, not pay-per-views too, but I'm talking like the shows. Nope, no title changes on SmackDown, main event. So when they tell you, oh, there's a title match on SmackDown, why the fuck would you even watch it? Because that the belt's not gonna change. It just ruins the fucking, match. It's pretty much a spoiler. Number eight, people are injured. A ton of people are injured and people left too. Like Brian fucking injured, Punk fucking left. Two talented guys right there. And also Bad News Barrett is unfortunately injured as well. So I mean there's a lot of talented people in the company injured or have either left. Number nine, they have live events. I've talked about this in the past. I think it would be better to just cut out the live events altogether, and you would have less injuries. They would have better morale. You could put all your energy, you put more energy into the main shows that are actually on TV and have more people watching them. And the life of the wrestlers would extend. They would live longer because they wouldn't be as injured. And I guarantee you, people like Bryan, Roman Reigns, what wouldn't be injured right now, or at least there would be a better chance of them not being injured, and maybe Punk would have even stayed because he wouldn't have had as much a workload. Number 10, talented guys do not get pushed. You know, if you have talent in the company like Cesaro, Bray Wyatt, you know, you don't get fucking pushed. You get fucking, buried pretty much. Number 11, untalented guys get pushed. If you're fucking Orton, fucking boring wrestler, does a ton of rest, told if you're Roman Reigns, who does 4 moves, you get fucking pushed. You get a main event spot. Now Roman Reigns is on track to become the next champion, next big guy, except he got injured. So yeah, you do fucking 4 moves, 5 moves, 6 moves, whatever. That's all you do. You get fucking pushed. Number 12, illogical things happen. I'll reference back to Raw. You had fucking Seth Rollins with the car, which was totally illogical. Like, who leaves their keys in the ignition when they get out of the car? Then how the fuck did Ambrose get under the table? It didn't make any sense. And also the illogical bullshit with like that Santino and the fucking puppet that they were saying, oh, it's alive. It was retarded. Number 13, Vince doesn't care about us. It's a lot. He cons us out of our money. He just doesn't give a shit about us. He just gives a shit about himself and being greedy. I've said this before. Even if you, don't profit, there's something called honor, where you're supposed to, be a man of your word and live up to your word. Vince doesn't do that. All he cares about is money. Even though he does have a ton of it, it's like, wow, you give $1 million back to us, you still got fucking 999 million or whatever the fuck he has. Number 14, the Raw theme fucking stupid. They had a lot better Raw themes in the past, and I think this one is probably the worst one. It's a fucking not a good, not the type of music I associate with wrestling. Number 15, people die young. It's unfortunate, like Sean O'Haire died young, Warrior died young. I heard the Warrior, like, he had it in his family, though. Benoit, of course, I still question who killed him, but he died young. All these wrestlers die fucking young. It's ridiculous, and it's one of the reasons why this company is, like, it's one of the reasons why wrestling kind of sucks. It sucks. People die young. That sucks. It's not a good thing. Number 16, it's PG. Everything on the show is fucking, made for kids, pretty much. There's nothing... There are very few things that are mature on the show. Everything is like Cena, oh, I'll never give up, never give up. There's nothing that's badass or, mature about this show, or very few things. There's number 17, stupid gimmicks like Adam Rose, the fucking Usos, Goldust and Stardust, and of course the Matadors, the fucking El Torito, what a disaster that is. Number 18, you got fucking horrible wrestlers like Khali, Henry, Big Show, Roman Reigns, who fucking are slow, do 5, Orton, I'll add to that list too, like slow, do 4 moves, are fat, and have to, and should be retired. Kane too, I'll add to that list. Number 19, no steel chair shots to the head, it's like less extreme, less hardcore, you get no blood, no steel chair shots to the head, or very rarely you'll get one. Number 20, the network, on my computer at least, doesn't work. I don't know why the fuck that is. It doesn't fucking work though. Like, why? Like, I don't even fucking get it. I could use everything else on my computer, works fine. But I can't, on my personal computer, I cannot get the network to ever work. It pisses me off. Not that much, because I usually watch it on my iPad or phone, but it's just stupid. Number 21. They edit the crowd sounds. It's pretty obvious on SmackDown. They edit the crowd. Not as much, or I don't even think at all on Raw. Although I did hear they were editing out something on Raw. I don't know though, but it's obvious on SmackDown. They edit the shit out of that. Number 22. I hear they confiscate signs. I saw Solid Monster tweeted out, who's a pretty popular guy. He was a podcast. I trust him too. He's a credible guy. He said, oh, they took my signs. You always hear, they confiscate people's signs. And one person brought up a point. They're like, oh, they're promoting this Rusev thing, and they're saying, oh, America promotes free speech, but then you get WWE, and they don't. They confiscate people's signs, and so they're pretty hypocritical right there. Number 23, they ignore people. You know, they ignore people like Punk, Chris Benoit, and then if somebody leaves the company, they'll just completely ignore them. It's like, let your fans know what's going on, you know. And with Benoit, yeah, you know, the official story is he committed suicide and murdered his family. I still question that story. And even if he did, you know, it's not WWE's fault. So saying something about him, I don't even think it's gonna affect anything. He was in the company, yeah. Like, why don't you acknowledge him? You know, I don't get it. Like, don't even bring up the suicide. Just, oh, Chris Benoit was once a champion or whatever. You know, it's like, it's not saying anything about him is not going to change anything. Number 24. They won't give us updates. Like, Punk leaves the company and they don't say anything about him. Like, I was just talking about that. But, like they won't give us injury updates. And I could sort of understand injury updates because, you know, that I could kind of ruin the surprise. But like with this Bryan thing, you don't hear anything coming out of WWE's mouth on it really. And, you know, like they'll give you an update like right when the injury happens, but then in the future, you know, you won't get an update really. And it's kind of annoying. I get like you want to sort of maintain the return date and make it a secret kind of, so it's a surprise. But like I think we deserve some kind of updates. Like, all I hear is updates from Bryan. Bryan's telling me what's wrong with him. Why doesn't WWE come out and say what's wrong with him? Number 25. I talked about this, but there's not that much blood anymore. You know, very little blood. The only blood you really get is accidental now. Number 26. Oh, and people are like, oh, you know, steel chair shots to the head are bad. Blood's bad. You know, not as much blood, but like steel chair shots to the head that cause concussions. My view on it is if people are willing to take that risk, then let them. I'm a very libertarian guy. You know, do whatever you want as long as it doesn't affect anybody else. And a steel chair shot to the head, if you're willing to take it, which I think you probably should be willing to take at least some if you're a wrestler. But if you're willing to take them, if you're willing to do a blade job, then all for it. You know, I'm all for it. If you know the risks, which they do, you know, I'm all for it. You know, fucking that doesn't affect anybody else whether you do a blade job or take a steel chair shot to the head. Number 26, popular guys get buried. I sort of talked about this, you know, how Bray Wyatt, who's very popular, or was very popular with the crowd, Cesaro gets buried, you know, remember Body Slam the Big Show, the crowd was going crazy, and they fucking, you know, dropped the ball with him. All these popular guys, you know, even Bryan at the start of his run, they fucking bury him. They fucking make him lose. It's just annoying when you get a popular guy and then they lose. Number 27. Same feuds, you know, like a lot of repeated feuds in this company, mainly because they don't create any new stars. Create new stars. I mean, not mainly, but like that's part. You know, they should create new stars, get new faces of the company. Cena's fucking sucks. He's fucking stale. You know, like we just saw Cena and Orton on Raw for like the 1,000th time. It's annoying. Get some new guys. Get some new faces of the company. Get some new stars. Number 28. Vince doesn't do any interviews. Now, I know this might be a little thing, but like, he doesn't stay in touch with his fans. Do a little interview here or there, even if it is on the YouTube. But I encourage him to do interviews with like other people, like Sam Roberts, Rosenberg, other people who do interviews with wrestlers. Do interviews. Be in touch with your fans. That's how fans, like in the IWC, they're like hardcore fans, I guess, what you would call them. You know, they learn about their superstars and their wrestlers by interviews like that. And Vince doesn't do those. Number 29. Shirts are fucking $25 on the website. You know, like I buy shirts, I can't buy too many. They're fucking expensive as shit. It's like, come on, like you can't make them like 15. You know, that's fucking pretty cheap. Or even 15 is pretty expensive for one single t-shirt. Like you could go to the store and get a t-shirt for like $7-8. I mean, maybe 15, 20 at the most. But like, and you gotta pay for shipping too. So I mean, you know, he's already gotten like fucking all that money from pay-per-views. You know, I've already paid him. We used to pay him $45 for a pay-per-view, or 55 even sometimes. I've you know paid him so much money with the fucking network and shit. And now, you know, you gotta pay $25 for a fucking just one T-shirt. I mean, I think it's kind of a rip-off. I think that the prices should be a little bit lower on that. Number 30, Make-A-Wish. I'm not against Make-A-Wish, but I'm sort of against, you know, using Make-A-Wish to further the people's characters on TV. Like, they do it to try to make Cena look like this great guy or whatever, and it's annoying. Like, we all hate Cena, so then they try to, you know, associate Make-A-Wish with Cena. Like, Cena's the only guy who does Make-A-Wish to make Cena look like this great guy. And yeah, Cena does seem like a nice guy, but like, to keep those two things separate. You know, maybe a little mention here, but don't get too carried away with it, with the Make-A-Wish. Put it on the website, put it on the YouTube channel. But, you know, bringing out kids, like, on the on the stage is like a little bit overboard, and they just associate Cena with it, and just let Cena do the Make-A-Wishes to make him seem like this great guy. Number 31, too many rest holds, specifically Randy Orton. I mean, they have a shit ton of rest holds in the company. I mean, why? What's the fucking point of a rest hold? Rest hold. It's just a boring ass move during a match. Do exciting moves, do fast paced moves, do hard impact moves, do unique moves. Don't do fucking rest holds. They're boring. You know, they just fucking make you want to fall asleep. Number 30, you know, I'm not opposed to maybe one rest hold here. You know, maybe some guy took a hard bump and he needs to recover. Maybe they're going fast paced during the match and they need to, you know, take a little break to catch their breath or whatever. That's fine. One rest hold for a very fast paced match, or to catch your breath, whatever. But not three a match. You know, it's fucking ridiculous. Number 32. They don't care about people when they leave the company. You know, like when they leave the company and they get injuries, you know, they don't fucking even care about that really. Like, you know, Jake Roberts has fucking a ton of problems. I haven't even heard of WWE helping him out after he left the company. You know, all these people get problems, injuries, and they die young. I don't see WWE, you know, lending a helping hand out. You know, of course they lend out a hand after they die for PR purposes or money purposes, but they don't fucking actually help them, to my knowledge, when they're actually suffering after they left the company. Why? Because they don't care about them. You know, I think it was Stone Cold Steve Austin who said, you know, you're just a gear. When that gear gets old, they just take the gear out, throw it to the side, and they don't care about the old gear, and they put a new one in. That's basically, I think, pretty much what the company does. I think after the superstars leave, they should help them out in their lives. If they have drug problems, if they have injury problems, they should help them fund their surgeries or help them with drug rehab if they have those problems, alcohol, whatever. Where was I? Number 33. They don't acknowledge words like heel, face, or promo. It's annoying to me. Like, if they acknowledge words like that, you know, heel, face, promo, you know, I think they would connect better with their fans, because that's what we call it. So why don't you call them that? You know, we call them that. Like in scripts, they call them that. Everybody calls it that. But when you get to the fucking show, they don't even call it that. You know, why don't they just call it that? Everybody knows it as that. It's like, just use the word. Number 34, they don't acknowledge TNA. Like when the Monday Night War was going on, they acknowledged that. But why not acknowledge TNA? I mean, what, are you afraid people are going to go watch TNA or whatever? I mean, I don't get it. Just acknowledge it. You know, they just ignore it like they're the only wrestling company in the world when there's tons of other ones. Number 35. They push big and muscular guys more. It's no secret that just look at all the top guys in the company. You know, Cena, fucking Sheamus gets pushed a lot. You know, Orton's sort of a big guy. You know, I guess middle of the road. Triple H, you know, of course he's fucking wrestling, and you know, still wrestling now. But that's partly because he married Stephanie. You know, just look at all the big guys on top of the company, like especially Cena with the big bodybuilder mentality. You know, and this mentality that small guys, you know, have to work harder to make it, or have, you know, they don't have as much a chance as making it. And look at the guy now that's getting the big push, Roman Reigns, the biggest guy in the Shield, although he's the worst. Seth Rollins is way better than him. Dean Ambrose is way better than him. But yet, the biggest guy in the Shield gets the push. Number 36, titles aren't prestigious. I mean, like, just look at the IC belt. People will win the belt and then fucking become jobbers. You know, all the belts are pretty much shit. And now you got the main champion who doesn't even show up. Shows up less than half the time to Raw. You know, like, all the belts are pretty much shit. You know, I guess the WWE title is a little bit prestigious since Lesnar has it, but again, he's never there, you know. Number 37, they ruin legends coming back. Like when a legend returns, like Herwin Hogan, what was it? Hogan, Austin, or Hogan, HBK, and Flair came back for that one segment after SummerSlam. You know, of course, they associated with Cena. They talked with Cena. You know, they just, and when Bret Hart came back, the last time recently, they gave him like a 5-minute segment with Sandow. It's like they don't treat him like they're actually legends, or they'll just put him with Cena. It's like, and they'll associate him with Cena, like they have Hogan saying, "Oh yeah, Cena's the best thing ever." They have Ric Flair, you know, fucking just remember Cena gave the WWE World Heavyweight Champion belt to him. Then you got Shawn Michaels saying, "Yeah, we know everybody loves Cena," or something like that. So I mean, they just suck Cena's dick and whatever, and it's annoying. 38. Gimmicks that, you know, support the wrong things. You know, like they had fucking gimmicks, you know, they had fucking the Real Americans saying, well, you have to respect President Obama as baby faces. Yeah, you have to respect a fucking dictator criminal. I don't think so. Then you have them as heels, you know, saying lock down the borders, you know, which is the right thing to say, but they're heels, so it's actually demonizing people like me who think that way. So I mean, I don't like the message they send out there. You know, people might say, "Oh, it's just entertainment," but it's a bigger message that it sends out to people who aren't, you know, who don't think, who don't fucking, you know, actually pay attention. They get this image like, oh, locking down the border is bad, you know, or we should glorify Obama. We should have, you know, strong patriotism towards our president and respect him, you know. We should, you know, it's just, it gives her off the wrong image to people who are asleep and not awake to what's actually going on in the world, which is a lot of people. 39, people aren't badass. You know, I'm not saying everybody should be badass, but, you know, WWE definitely lacks, you know, badass characters or tough guys. Everybody in the company, Cena's a fucking, you know, fucking retard. Sheamus is a fucking retard. Orton's fucking, you know, it's just Orton. He's not a badass at all. You know, Reigns is the closest thing to a badass, but it's hard for him to be one because he's got fucking 5 fucking moves. You know, just nobody that really, you know, you think, you know, Lesnar, I guess. Lesnar is a badass, but he's never there. You know, he's pretty much the only guy in the company right now who I would consider like a true badass. That's about it. Number 40, nothing good like sexually, like no hot, you know, you have some hot girls, but not a lot. There's a lot of ugly women in the company. Like Naomi and Cameron, they're not that hot. That's not a big issue, but like then there's nothing good like sexually. Like you don't have any good like making out scenes or any sexual things going on. All you get is fucking maybe a kiss here or there, or some like a light make-out session. That's pretty much it since it's PG. Number 41, the celebrities they have on suck. Like they had Florida Georgia Line on. They're fucking stupid. They're like, oh, they're the most popular band in the world. It's like, what? The only times I've heard of him is when they've been on WWE. They had Jerry Springer on. That was pretty much a failure. You know, they bring a lot of these guys on, and it's just, it's fails. You know, all they're trying to do is, you know, create popularity towards the product, and us wrestling fans are left, you know, saying, what the fuck is going on? Number 42, no pyro before shows. You know, they used to do the pyro before Raw, and it got you all pumped up for the show. Now they don't even do it. They don't even play the theme song. It's like, They should do that every fucking week. Get you pumped up, you know, yeah, here comes Raw, you know, ready for fucking to watch this show. Now you're like, oh no, here comes 3 hours of bullshit again. You know, no, you know, it's just fucking like fucking 180 from what it used to be with all the pyro going. The crowd was, yeah, you know, we're ready for Raw. You know, you're ready for a good 2 hours of Raw, you know, good action. Now you're like, oh no, here comes Raw again. Who's ready for 3 hours of shit and to be falling asleep, you know, half asleep while you're watching this shit. 40, 43, I think that is. Or not, yeah, 43. People take, like, mental breaks. Like, Punk takes a fucking, or AJ takes a mental break. Oh, she just decides she needs to leave. You know, like, people take all these breaks, like, oh, we gotta take a break. You know, I wish that when I, you know, didn't feel like showing up for work, I could just skip work or skip school. I wish I had that life, you know. Like, if you're injured physically, then that's fine. But if, you know, like, AJ just leaves after, just the day after she loses the title, she leaves. Like, just at least stay, you know, defend, have your rematch. You know, like, I'm tired of people just leaving. You know, top guys, too, just leaving. Like, if you leave for, like, a week, like, Daniel Bryan wants to have a whole fucking thing with her, with Brie. You know, he missed Raw for that, which pissed me off. Leave on fucking Tuesday, come back on Sunday. You know, so you could be at Raw. Or if it's a pay-per-view, then come back on Saturday or whatever. But yeah, I'm tired of people taking, you know, my mind's, I gotta take a mental break. It's like, no, you don't. You're getting paid fucking a lot of money to do this shit. If you need to take a break because of injuries, fine. But don't take fucking a 2 or 3 month break because you're burned out. Come on, give me a fucking break. If you have a passion for this business, you should be there every week as long as you're not injured. And yeah, I mean, I get it, you know, with the family, you know, don't, you know, wrestling, you know, if you're gonna be a wrestler, then you probably shouldn't get a family, unless it's actually a wrestler, like Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, you know, they're both wrestlers, it works perfectly, they can be together. I would probably not get a family unless it's a fucking wrestler that I'm dating, you know? Number 44. Wrestlers are limited on what they can post to social media. You could tell that, you know, they don't express their true thoughts on other people. You know, they're not allowed to tell their true opinions on things. And they're very, you know, limited and held back at what they can say in interviews and shit and what they can post on social media by WWE. And there should be a limit, but there should not be a, you know, that strict of limit. I don't think. You know, I think once they're out of the fucking, not out of the company's PG, so they can't say too much, but like, once they're on Twitter or in an interview, they should be able to say pretty much whatever they want, as long as it's not too crazy or anything like that. Number 45. Fucking Linda McMahon lost $100 million in her Senate run. You know, it's just fucking, you know, 100 fucking million. That's a ton of, that's what I hear the number is. That's a ton of fucking our money. It's a ton of our money. You know, it's like, you know, you can't directly relate that to anything that sucks really in the company. But it's like, that sucks, you know, 100 million of our money went to fucking Linda McMahon, who didn't even win. You know? So that sucks right there. Number 46, NXT sucked. You know, when I was watching it, the actual episode sucked. So I stopped watching. I don't know if they suck now or are good, but the pay-per-views are good shows. They're, you know, some are very good, some are great, but the pay-per-views are good. The shows, at least the ones I watch, sucked. Number 47, they waste legends. You know, like they have Booker T. You know, big name in the wrestling business, but he's nowhere to be found. You know, all he does is fucking show up, you know, like once a month for a random ass segment or whatever. And you got fucking Flair, who they could pretty much do anything with right now, but they don't do anything with them. You know, they got fucking all these guys. You know, like Hogan, they fucking wasted Hogan. Like, all he did was promote the network and promote Cena. You know, they got these stars that they could do stuff with, and they choose not to even use them. Pisses me off. Everything in this company pisses me off, though. Number 48, the creative team. They don't really have, I hear they don't have any WWE experience. Like, none of them are actually WWE fans. Every person on the creative team and every person in the company pretty much, I think, should be a WWE fan unless you're like a janitor or something. But, like, even janitors, though, like if you're a WWE fan, I think that would help because you would have more of a passion and understanding for the business. Even though like you're a janitor, like you would have more passion to clean it up because you do have a passion for the business, you know. So I think, the creative team should obviously be WWE fans because you have a better understanding, a way better understanding of what wrestling actually is. If you're a fan of if you're a fan of the company, like a non wrestling fan that has a totally different perspective and view. They don't know fucking a percentage of, they don't know a very small percentage of what the wrestling business actually is compared to a hardcore fan or a fan like myself. Number 49. There's just stupid fucking wrestlers like the Bunny, El Torito, Hornswoggle, that are just retarded ass people, that are just like gimmicks that are just horrible. Like I guess this is sort of correlates with my stupid gimmicks number 17, but I'm just talking about like just stupid, just stupid people that aren't even fucking wrestlers really. Like El Torito too could fit on this list. Alright, I did put El Torito on this list, my bad, but that aren't even wrestlers. They're just fucking like animals, just stupid. Or like trolls or fucking leprechauns. Like it's just retarded. And the last one, they release people with talent, but they'll keep guys like Kali and fucking Hornswoggle who pretty much have no talent at all. Like fucking Drew McIntyre got released, who isn't good, isn't that good, but he's not horrible or anything. Like why? Why would you release him? Over a guy like Kali, who can barely even fucking walk. It's been in the company for like, what, 8 years now? I mean, he's probably got enough money to retire. And if he doesn't, if WWE wants to keep him around just to give him a paycheck and keep him on his feet, then release him and then give him some money or what. No, it's not even the fucking point. Just fucking release him. It's a business. You gotta do what you gotta do. And if you keep people like Kali around and you release guys who actually have some talent, like Drew McIntyre, then it's a fucking mistake. So there you go, people. There's my 50 fucking reasons why this company is complete garbage. I mean, it's just falling apart. It's in shambles. It's in ruins. Whatever you want to say. It's horrible. It's really horrible to watch this bullshit every fucking week. And I'm really getting sick and tired of it. But I will continue to keep watching. For what? People always ask me, why do you watch if you hate it so much? I watch it for the good moments because there are good moments in this company. There are some great moments still in this company. There are some great matches. And I watch it for the social media aspect of it. Like on Twitter, I can talk with people. I have a lot of fun talking with people. And, of course, I make YouTube videos, obviously, and I have a lot of fun making those. So that's why I continue to watch this bullshit every week. For those two reasons. So there you go, people. 50 reasons why this company sucked. I know it's a long video. But, yeah, so there you go. 50 reasons why this company is complete shit.